Hi everybody, I hope you are all managing to stay safe and positive and being kind and considerate to everyone, and also offering or receiving the support you may be needing at this difficult and very unusual time. I wanted to do this video because we've had so many new subscribers over the past about the past week really, and so I just wanted to do a video to say hi to all the new subscribers and to introduce ourselves, to explain why it was that we started to do this video in these videos, the YouTube channel in the first place, and to also give an insight into what one of our structured days look like. So hello to all you new subscribers, we really appreciate you all, and we hope you are finding our channel to be helpful and informative, and to also just give an insight into what home ed looks like for us. It's different for all families and everyone works differently, but for what it looks like for us, I hope you're managing to take some of that and implementing it into your family yourself. If there's something that we're not covering or you'd like us to cover, then please do feel free to email us, the emails down below, or also on my Instagram page, which is Home Education Journey UK. Also reach out over on there, as we offer lots of support on that channel as well, and we'll be more than happy to cover different subjects or questions in another video. That's the whole point, we're here to help. So I'm Louise, I'm the mum at Home Education Journey UK. Lee, my husband, is the one who is normally editing the video. I normally do most of the recording and Lee does the editing side. I'm also the one who's mainly doing the home ed side of things, as Lee has obviously got a full-time job to support me being able to be at home with the children. So we have Alfie, who is 12. He was diagnosed with autism 2 years ago now. And then we have Teddy, who is 10. He is also going through the diagnosis process at the moment. And then we have Millie, who is 7, our youngest, our baby. And so that is our family unit, family of 5, and we've been home educating for 2 years now. So we started home educating once Alfie had got his diagnosis. He was struggling at school for about 3 years, and once he got that diagnosis, we understood a bit more as to why he was struggling. The help the school at that moment were giving wasn't suiting Alfie. They were trying their best, but they had a class of 30 and it just wasn't suiting Alfie. So we researched a bit about home education and we decided to take Alfie out. Within a week of doing that, the transformation of his anxiety levels, his happiness, and also realising that what school was telling us about where he was at certain levels, actually when we were looking at his work, weren't the case. He needed so much more help. So within a week we decided to pull the other 2 out as well. Millie wanted to come out straight away. She'd been at school a year at that point, and every day she was upset about going. Even when I picked her up, she hadn't been happy all day, so she was super keen. Teddy was a bit more unsure, and it took him a bit longer to make that decision. We wouldn't have took Ted out if he was happy to stay at school. It would have been fine. I said to him, if you want to stay at school, that's perfectly fine. But he soon decided, actually no, I want to be homeschooled as well. And we haven't looked back since. And the children are always saying, please don't ever send me back to school, which I don't plan to. I don't plan on ever sending them back to school as long as our situation and we're able to do so. So those were the reasons as to why we started to home educate. Now I started to look on YouTube and Google and try and find out some information, because it's so daunting to start with, to think that you're in control of your child's education for now until they reach adulthood, and was quite daunting. So I looked on YouTube, and a lot of the information I found a couple of home ed families in the UK, but a lot were actually American. And managed to find some tips from what they were doing, but it isn't the same as having someone to follow in the UK who's on the same curriculum. So we decided that actually we would start to do videos to help other people who are either thinking about home educating or are just starting off and are feeling the way we felt when we first started. So we started up this channel, and we also started up the Instagram channel as well, and that's straight away. We've got quite a few followers, but within the past couple of weeks with our YouTube channel, it has really grown, and we get so many of you guys emailing us saying thank you so much for your help. It's really helping, and that means so much to us, because this is exactly why we're doing it. It's not really any benefit from us as such. It's more to help other people who are in a similar situation. And so secondly, I wanted to give an insight into what one of our structured learning days looks like a bit, for those of you who are just new to home ed, and also for those of you, well, for all of you now who are watching, who have been notified that as of Monday your school is going to be closing, and you now need to provide some sort of education for your children to stop them bouncing off the walls. I thought I would talk about what one of our home ed days looks like, our structured days. What you need to bear in mind is that this isn't normal for us either, for home ed families. We're normally, on a Monday we go to a home ed drama group, and on a Tuesday we usually go to a trampolining home ed group, and then on a Friday we usually see my mum, the children's grandparents, and we usually go out and about. So this is completely different for us. We are also really struggling, Alfie in particular, with the autism side of things. He loves structure, and he loves to go out, and he loves to know what a week is going to look like. So he likes to know on a Monday, a Tuesday and a Friday we're doing stuff, and at the weekend we always go on days out. So at the minute we're having, well, all of our days out that we had planned for this month, with it being Easter and Mother's Day, we had a lot of days out to a safari park and to various other places and workshops we had set up for March, and those have all been cancelled. He can't see his grandma at the minute other than on Skype or WhatsApp, and so it's a massive change for him, and he's really struggling there. So we're trying to just get some sort of structure as much as we can to help him with that, and he's wondering, are we ever going to go back to normal? Are we ever going to be able to go outside again? And obviously I keep reassuring him that we will, and also trying to shelter him from certain aspects to keep his anxiety levels as low as possible. We've started, it was actually I think it might have been Millie's idea to start this daily challenge, and it's actually benefiting Alfie the most. He's waking up every morning at 8 o'clock saying, can I see the YouTube video of what all the children have sent in? And it's also giving him that structure, and he's the first one. He's already doing the challenge for today, which is to write a story, to finish off the story that he's started off, and he's already doing that this morning. So that's just giving him that little bit of structure. So I really appreciate all you guys that are getting involved in that, to help you and your children, to give them some structure and to have an activity, a learning activity set out for you every day. I hope that's helping you, and thank you so much for taking part, because it's certainly helping my children as well. And we're in this together, so if we can pull together and help each other as much as possible in ways like this, through YouTube, through social media, this is the only way at the minute that we can communicate. So yeah, it's really, really helping, and I hope that it's helping you guys out there as well. So going back to what one of our normal structured days looks like, it's normally only a couple of days out of the week that it would look like this. And I'll actually film on Monday. I'm planning on doing one of our structured days on Monday, so I will film that and we'll upload that on probably Tuesday to show you, actually to visualise what one of our structured days looks like. The reason I won't record over the weekend to do one is because at the weekend we don't really do much structured learning. Obviously, as I've said many a times, our children are always learning, so are your children. And this morning, Millie, bless her, got a jigsaw out, and we sat and did that over breakfast. And it had you had to count. I had find 5 fairies, for instance, and 10 trees. And so we went through that, and she was counting and looking for all different pictures that you had to point out once you'd finished this 100-piece puzzle. So children are always learning, but I don't sit down and say, right, for half an hour now we are going to do maths. That doesn't happen at the weekend. Sometimes Ted will get his maths book out because he loves maths, and we'll do some, but it's not as structured. So I thought I'd wait till Monday, when it will be a structured day, and I can show you guys exactly what it is that we get up to. So usually we'll get up about 7:30. No really strict, I don't get them out of bed at a certain time. I let them wake up when they wake up, but it is usually about 7:30. Everyone's up and we'll have breakfast and get dressed. And about 9, half 9, We will sit down for an hour. I will have already written a list of the structured work I want completed in that day, if possible, if they're feeling up to it, obviously. I will already have that written down, and they can see it when they first get up for breakfast, so they know what it is that's in store for them for the day. Really helps the boys especially, that does. And I normally do a list so they can tick off as they complete each activity. So I'll usually try to sit down about 9:30, and we will spend an hour doing structured work. So usually I normally do half an hour maths and then half an hour in their English workbooks. They're scholastic, which I've mentioned lots of times, workbooks. They're curriculum based, and you just work through those, and once you finish the book, you've done that year's curriculum. I go on Twinkle then to print off sheets to run alongside the different sections and the different topics throughout the book. But once they've completed that book, I'll then move on to the next year group. So half an hour maths and half an hour English. I'll write down, they usually set half an hour timers on Alexa. Works really well for them, and they can shout and say how long's left to Alexa if they're wondering how much more time they've got. So we'll usually do that from about 9:30 till about 10:30, give or take half an hour or however long. And then we'll have half an hour break. If they're struggling during that hour, then I'll obviously let them have a break and go on the trampoline. But the majority of the time they manage to do that hour. And I'll sit with them because I plan my jobs around this time. So I know that the morning is set for the children and their learning. So between 9:30 and 10:30, we will sit and we will do normally maths and English. 10:30 we will go have a snack for half an hour, have a snuggle on the sofa, have a chat, watch something on the telly, have a giggle, and then at 11 again we will sit back down and do the rest of the structured work on my list. That may be topic work, child-led learning, something they've said, can we learn about this today, a craft activity, anything like that. Oh, sorry, science. We have Letterbox Lab, which is a science subscription monthly, and also Toucan Box and Geo Journey. So it might be that we'll do, which is geography, it might be that we'll do one of those for the second hour of the day, spellings. And then after that second hour, I will do a group reading. So we'll have a book that we'll all be reading together. We'll go through with each other. Sometimes I'll read it all, sometimes they want to read it as well. It depends, that varies each day. And then at about 12 o'clock, we'll finish up the structured side of things, and we will have lunch, and then the children will go and have an hour's quiet time. This is so important for us all to have an hour to go to our own rooms to do what it is we want to do. They usually watch telly or they go and have some of their gadget time, and it just gives me an hour headspace as well to compose myself from the morning, to sort their work out, see what it is they managed to get done and what we need to carry on tomorrow. And yeah, just that bit of space, because it can be intense all being cooped up together all morning. So we'll have that hour. Whatever they haven't managed to complete in them 2 hours, like I say, I will put aside, and that will be carried on the next day or whenever we're next having a structured day of learning. And that's how we'll then start off, by finishing what we didn't do yesterday. After quiet time, it's normally a free choice afternoon. Now sometimes I'll set activities out. They don't have to do the activities if they don't want to, but if I set them out, then there's something there for them to go to if they're bored, or if they can't find anything to do for themselves. So it'll usually be some sort of crafts. They'll have the garden will be open for the mud kitchen and the water and the sand play. Obviously the trampoline, and they've got their scooters and their football, so they'll have all of the outside area. I'll sometimes set something up on the tough tray as well, whether it's a farm play or a messy play or something out there for them to do as well. Sometimes I might get building blocks out inside or get some jigsaw puzzles out, and other times I'll just leave it up to them. Sometimes I might say, should we go and watch a film in the afternoon, whether it's an educational programme or whether it's a film we fancy watching. We might play a board game, and it's more for them. I'm not always with them all afternoon. It's more sometimes they'll do things with each other so that I can then catch up with jobs, get anything that I need to get done myself in the afternoon then. And that we don't normally have a time limit, so we don't do 9 and then at 3 o'clock free choice ends. That's just it for the day then. So they just do free choice for the rest of the day, watch a bit of TV, whatever it is they want to do. I do also have a gadget time limit of 1 hour a day, because otherwise the boys especially would just sit on YouTube. Not the educational programs, we don't have a time limit on YouTube for educational when they're looking for researching information, but when they're just on there watching the YouTubers that they like, talking about gaming, playing Fortnite, playing Roblox or whatever else it is they want to play, there is usually a 1 hour time slot for the day. Minecraft, I'm a bit in and out. I don't normally put that in their time limit, but I won't let them sit on it all day at the same time. But I find that it's actually a bit more educational, and I often look at what they've built and I'm like, wow. So I don't normally put that on. They do that together a lot as well, so it's nice to see them working together and building something. Saying that, at the minute, like I've mentioned before, this isn't normal for us either. This isn't what we normally do. So I am, just said to them this morning and they're like, yay. I've said I'm not going to limit gadget time at the minute, because this is the only way they get to WhatsApp their friends and speak to their friends, and to have that bit of time to look forward to something, because they enjoy it so much. And with everything else being stripped away from them, I don't want them to then not even have this. So I've said we're not going to have gadget limit time at the minute as such, at the weekend especially, but if I want you to come and take part in an activity, structured learning, or if we're going to play a game or watch a film, I would like you to come and join us, because I don't want them to just go into their own world and just sit on their games all day, as I don't think it's beneficial for their mental health and for their behaviour as well. I notice a massive difference if I let the boys sit on their game consoles all day. I notice a massive difference in their behaviour and the way they speak to each other as well. I'm also going to try and incorporate Skype calls to family members, because they can't go out and see them, so they can chat and see friends and family that way as well. I think in the week I won't limit gadget time as such, but I will make sure we get all of the structured learning done, and also obviously not let them sit on there all afternoon. So that's pretty much what one of our more structured days look like. I think we'll have a few days next week, because we can't obviously go out to the home ed groups, and I don't want to be doing a full week of just structured work. So I'll probably give them one day off during that week where I won't do structured work as such. I'll have a complete free choice day, but I will still set crafts out, whether it's puzzles, some sort of activity books. I will still set those out, and we'll probably try and go for some walks. We're lucky, we live by fields, so we'll probably try and go for walks throughout the day, throughout the week and throughout the day to the field, and and play, lots more play. I'm going to let them do lots more play to relieve this anxiety and this stress. And also they have got the daily challenge that we're set, so that will probably that won't come into their structured work, I don't think. I think we'll let them do that during free choice time, so they've also got that to do to add that bit more structure. Just enjoy this time with them. Just take that pressure off. Just let them be children, let them play with them. Have this time like you've got with them now is we're lucky to be having this extra time, so just try and enjoy that as well, and don't put too much pressure on yourselves. Like, we're only humans, we can only do what we can do. It will be okay. Children learn all the time, trust me. My children learn all the time. They're always telling me facts, and I'm saying, where did you get that from? I haven't sat down and told them that, and they've picked it up from TV or from Googling different questions that come into their mind, or books. They're always learning all the time. They're retaining information, so don't put too much pressure on yourself, and try and keep things as positive as you can. I'll also just quickly mention as well horrible histories. My children during their free time watch so much horrible histories, and it is so informative. Alfie will repeat to me all these history facts, and he's got them all from horrible histories, so that is a brilliant programme. And obviously David Attenborough with the wildlife side of things is also another amazing programme, so I really recommend trying to encourage your children to watch those a little bit as well. So we are also self-isolating ourselves as Alfie and Millie have asthma, so we're keeping our distance, and the children and myself are staying inside, other than going for walks in fields and away from other people. Well, I think that's about everything. I think I've covered lots and more probably than I planned to cover when I first started. I feel so passionate about this, and I just ramble and it all just comes out, and I have to like be okay. That'll do for now. So I think I've covered pretty much everything. Don't forget to watch out for Monday's routine structured learning day video, which will probably be out Tuesday. I'll say Tuesday, but Lee has to edit, so it could be Wednesday, but it'll be out at the beginning of the week, to actually see what my children actually get up to during a whole day. And also please do have a look at our daily challenges that the kids set up. It means so much to Alfie, like I said, and to the other children, and I think it could be really beneficial to you guys as well, to have an activity that's set out for you. They are all going to be learning activities, whether it's creative or maths or English or researching information. So if you guys can all get involved as well, and we can pull together and get some really awesome work, and we'll show all of your children's work, whether it's by photographing and you emailing it in, or whether you actually want to film your children doing it, and we will actually put your children's video, obviously with your permission, onto our daily YouTube challenge vlogs. The hashtag is Daily Learn at Home Challenge on Instagram. So if you take any pictures of your children doing the daily challenge, feel free to use that hashtag and pop them on Instagram. We'd love to see all your children getting involved, and my children would love to see your children getting involved. And let's share some educational information between children. Yeah, let's do this. We've got this. It's all good. It'll all be fine. You can do it. You're their parents. You brought them up for the first 4 years of their lives before they went to school. You taught them so many things. You can do this. It's fine. Just take a deep breath. Some days will be hard, and that's fine. We can only do what we can do. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, leave comments, and also our email address if you want to send us an email, or go onto our Instagram, reach out to us on there through Messenger, and we'll try and answer all of your questions, and we will look forward to seeing you again really soon. Bye for now.